hail, wind, flooding, tornadoes. When severe weather strikes, our weather team works for you, keeping you safe in Tornado Alley. Brought to you by R. Turley Roofing.
Hey, good evening. I'm 2 Works for You Chief Meteorologist Mike Collier. In just a few minutes, I'll share with you my complete spring forecast. It's been a fairly quiet start to the season for most of Green Country. We did see a few storms and some large golf ball size hail in some places at the end of March, but really no major tornado activity. One of the most common questions we get asked is, what is the difference between a watch and a warning? Well, meteorologist Brandon Woolley explains.
It's very important to know the difference between a watch and especially a warning as we enter the spring severe season. There are 2 categories we'll take a look at: tornadoes and severe thunderstorms. A tornado watch is issued by the National Weather Service when severe thunderstorms and tornadoes are possible in and near the watch area. It doesn't mean they will occur. It only means they are possible. Tornado watches will be highlighted in yellow. A tornado warning is when there is a tornado imminent or it's already occurring. You will want to take your tornado precautions immediately. The warning will be a red color. Moving on to severe thunderstorms. One could pop up anytime across Green Country. There are watches and warnings for those as well, very similar to tornadoes. A severe thunderstorm watch means a storm could form in the watch area. The color will be blue. A severe thunderstorm warning means that the storm is about to happen or is happening. The criteria for a warning are winds 58 miles per hour or greater and or hail 1 inch in diameter or larger. It will be an orange color. Back to you, Mike.
Thanks, Brandon. Well, it can be a life or death decision where to go during a severe storm. Meteorologist Clint Boone shows you where to take shelter if a tornado is heading your way.
Mike, there are a few places to help make sure you are safe when a tornado approaches. Mobile homes, vehicles, and large open areas like gyms are bad options. Finding shelter underground in a basement or cellar is really the best plan. But if you don't have those available to you, there are other places in your home to shelter in place. The main goal is to put as many barriers between you and the outside as possible, so an interior hallway or closet are good substitutes. If you're in a tall or multi-story building, get away from the glass. Stay off the elevators because you could be trapped if the power fails. An interior stairwell is another good place to seek shelter. Make sure you crouch down and cover your head. If there's heavy furniture where you are, you might get underneath it. Here are some tornado safety tips for when you or your child are in school. Make sure you follow the school's emergency plan. Be sure to stay out of large rooms such as the gym and auditorium. If you are driving during severe weather, always remember parking under a bridge or overpass is incredibly dangerous. In previous years, severe storms highlighted this dangerous problem. Drivers clogged roadways, parking under overpasses, as storm chasers captured the dangerous situation along the Kilpatrick Turnpike in Oklahoma City.
If you get 20 vehicles that are going to try to cram in under an overpass, first of all, that's not going to prevent a tornado from getting to your vehicle anyways. It's not worth it. It's not worth it what it could do for everybody else out here on the road.
The Oklahoma Highway Patrol makes it crystal clear. This is illegal and a really bad idea. Meteorologist Clint Boone, back to you.
Thanks, Clint. Ahead in minutes, staying safe at the office. I'll walk you through where to go and where not to go should a storm strike while you're at work. 2 News covers Oklahoma weather like no one else. We are the only television station here in eastern Oklahoma with a mobile weather center on wheels, owned and operated by 2 Works for You. It's fully equipped with state-of-the-art equipment to track tornadoes. This truck is powered by R. Turley Roofing, a locally owned and operated roofing company since 1992. From homes to commercial buildings, R. Turley's team can get the job done. Their team of Tulsa roofers are proud to provide expert roofing installation and repairs with attention to detail. The R. Turley Roofing Storm Truck is equipped with 5 cameras, plus 1 camera that's 360 degrees and can see the whole perspective of the storm from anywhere in the United States. The live weather station on wheels is capable of feeding back pertinent information on any environment where tornadoes are possible. We also have access to real-time Cage-H live Doppler radar to get up-to-the-second information on where the storm is and where it's heading. And check this out. We even use it to educate Oklahoma students about weather using this large screen TV to provide presentations at schools and at area community events to help keep families safe across Green Country. We've already seen some hail this storm season. After a hailstorm, insurance will pay to repair a lot of the damage left behind. But before you file a claim, there are a few things you should know. Meteorologist Annie Brown brings us the expert advice.
The month of April typically produces some of the highest amounts of hail, more than any other month of the year here in Oklahoma. Over the last 3 years, the number of hail damage insurance claims has spiked. According to State Farm, Oklahoma found itself in the number 6 spot again last year for both the number of hail claims made and the number of hail claims paid in the U.S. From 2018 to 2020, State Farm paid out more than $96 million to Oklahoma policyholders.
So far for 2021, we've had just over 2,700 claims. Typical Oklahoma spring from, say, March to June. He advised me the last 2 years, so 2020 and 2019, we've had about 7,000 weather-related claims during that time frame.
Researchers are still working to determine why we've seen an increase in hail events in recent years. Some speculate warmer and wetter weather could be the culprit. When it comes to property damage and the cost to repair it, both depend largely on the size of that hail. Some insurance companies have a small window of time during which you have to make that claim. If you wait too long, you could have to pay for those repairs yourself.
Farmers, our policy doesn't state a specific time frame, but I advise insureds to check with their agent to make sure, because some companies have a 1 to 2 year time requirement that the claim needs to be turned in.
To avoid hail damage to your car, park under covered parking if you can. If that's not an option, you can try putting blankets over the car before a storm. There are even special car covers you can buy to protect against hail damage. Meteorologist Annie Brown, 2 Works for You.
Still ahead, staying safe at home during a storm. Where to go and where not to go when severe weather strikes. Plus, storm safety at work. We'll visit our friends at iHeartRadio to show you what you need to know.
I am Mike Scantland, lead storm chaser. This will be my 19th year storm chasing in the field. I think most storm chasers have a similar story where they were between 5 and 10 years old and they had an extreme weather event happen nearby, and it just kind of flips a switch in their head and they just turn into some weird kid that stares at the sky instead of, things that normal kids do.
Oh my gosh!
The largest tornado I've ever seen was Greensburg, Kansas in 2007. It was 1.7 miles wide and destroyed 95% of the town, but fortunately they got the warning about 30 minutes ahead, and with how much damage there was surprisingly few deaths and injuries.
What's your name?
Damon Lewis. I've been chasing for 7 years. When I was younger, my grandfather, he could walk outside and just kind of smell the air and always kind of knew what was going on, and it always fascinated me. And we were on his front porch one day and talking about tornadoes, and there was a tornado a couple miles away in the distance, just a little small tornado coming at us, and it was super cool, and it struck a nerve and got me going.
Staying safe during a storm is all about having a plan. 2 Works for You meteorologist Annie Brown shows us what to keep in mind if you're at home during a tornado.
So let's say you're home relaxing after a long, hard day when all of a sudden you hear those tornado sirens sounding across your area. Next thing you know, you see your phone and all of a sudden you get that text alert saying from the Storm Shield app that there is a tornado warning in your area. So what do? Next? You turn on the TV. So now what I'm going to do is get to my safe place. Where might that be? Let me show you. So a good spot to be inside your home is a closet or a bathroom where you can shut the door with no windows around. If you have a bathroom in the interior of your house, this is preferred because pipes within the walls gives this an added support. Let's take it a step further and talk about things you might want to have in that safe spot. A helmet. It might seem a little extreme, but it's great protection for your head. Another thing you might want to have around is a coat or a blanket, because this is also added protection in the event that your home gets hit and things start to fall. You may also want to put an old pair of tennis shoes in that safe place, because when you're home relaxing, you're more than likely to be in something comfortable. If your house is hit, your feet will be protected from debris on the ground. In this day and age, a portable phone charger is also a handy tool, along with a flashlight and backup batteries. Now that we're safe, make sure you and your family have a plan of action in case Mother Nature strikes. From 2 Works for You, I'm meteorologist Annie Brown.
An office environment can introduce different challenges when it comes to staying safe during severe weather.
Number 1 for New Country, 106.1, The Twister.
Man.
Hey, Carla.
Hey,
good to see you.
How are you?
Doing well. Good to see you
Oh,
today.
man, yeah, nice to see you, too. I was hoping you'd stop by. Spring is coming. We
Sure.
already had a couple thunderstorms.
Exactly, and got to prepare for severe weather safety. Now, let's talk about, as far as our partnership is concerned, tornado warnings issued for Tulsa. What does iHeartRadio do?
Well, as soon as we have a tornado warning that's issued for Tulsa County, we all flip to you. It is all you. We take all the music off the air because as much as we love new country music,
Yeah.
it's not as important to hear the newest country song as it is to know exactly what's happening weather-wise. So all of the radio stations here at iHeart flip to simulcast Channel 2.
Today, I'm going to walk you through some of the great places to be during a tornado if you're in an office building in general.
All right, well, teach me. Where do we go?
All right, let's go.
So if I wanted to watch the storm,
Right.
this is where I would be because, I mean, you've got a great view.
So, unfortunately, with the tornado, it's carrying a lot of debris. All right. So, one thing is the windows will crash in. We saw that with the Remington building just right down the street.
Yeah.
So, the windows will pour in.
Yeah, there's
Also,
no protection under this desk, is there?
Right. Within that tornado, I mean, there's knives, there's screws, there's all sorts of plyboard.
Oh, great. Okay.
all
not,
very-
not coming in this room.
No, you definitely know this is the worst place to be. So let's
All right.
move away from the windows like we tell everyone.
Good idea.
So the hallway is not a bad option. It really isn't. Is it the best option? No, it's not. The stairwell is the best option.
But there's no windows.
That's true. However, what you have is the tunnel effect. So if the windows on the opposite side of this floor sucked out, and then you have the floors on the windows on the other side, the wind is going to become tunneling through here, and it's going to begin to lift the debris and throw it at you. So
Great.
if you do not have time to get to the actual stairwell, here's what you need to do. You need to get as low as possible, and you
Okay.
need to cover yourself and keep yourself as low as possible as well.
So like when you were a kid in school.
Exactly.
Okay, here we are at the front door. So this is what we should have done a long time ago. As soon as you said take shelter.
Exactly.
We should
Once
have been coming out here.
Tornado warning's issued, then let's go out towards the stairwell.
Oh, okay. I already see where this could be better. There are
Well,
no windows.
You would think that this would be the ideal place to be.
Yeah.
And it's really not, because as we look here, this is 5B. And what we want to do is to be at 1A, as
Oh.
low as humanly possible. And that way we're low, we're covered, we're in the stairwell, we're in the middle part of the building, we're away from outside walls or windows.
Right.
And we're safe. Hey, it's Houston. He's here waiting for us. Houston, how's it going, buddy?
How's it going?
Good to see you.
I was wondering when you guys would show up.
Oh man, you are so much smarter than me.
See, Houston always wants to be number one. Now, he's right on this one. Be at the lowest level, get to the first floor, stairwell. Not only that, because if there's a tornado that hits and there's a lot of debris, there's an easy access to the ground to get out and hopefully be safe.
This is where we should be. The minute you say take cover, we should be right here.
Exactly. Be like Houston, be number one, be on the first floor, and you're good to go. It takes a lot of technology to keep you safe during severe weather. Still ahead, a look at some of the tools we use to track storms here in Tornado Alley.
Jacob Leon.
Jacob, how long have you been chasing?
For 5 years. I think it's kind of a rite of passage in Oklahoma, but when I was young, I used to have dreams about tornadoes a lot, and it was about 10 years ago when I finally saw one, and the dreams went away. It was kind of a weird deal, and I've kind of chased them ever since.
What's your name?
James Rogers. I've been chasing since 2001, about 20 years. It came a long time ago, back June 8, 1974, when we had the tornadoes here, and the tornadoes in December 5th, 1975 kind of brought the interest on it. Just kind of developed as the years went by, and when it got to the point where I was not having to work all the time and I had extra time, I kind of got into it.
Here's a moment you've all been waiting for, the spring outlook. How will we fare in tornado activity? Well, let's get started by looking at the overall pattern. And we have La Nina, which is having a huge influence on our weather across the central United States. It's bringing drier than normal conditions across the southwestern United States, and that's spreading east. And really, it's helped push a lot of the severe weather outbreaks to the east of us so far this season. And with dry air and a drought developing in the southwest, that might help keep pushing that dry line further east, which could keep the bulk of the severe weather through the remainder of the season to our east, into Arkansas, Mississippi, and Alabama, where they've already seen several tornado outbreaks across that region. But if the dry line begins to retreat a little further to the west, we start to see more moisture move in, then we could be under the gun with the potential for severe weather. So let's look at our tornado outlook. Now, let's look back a couple of years. 2018 saw 23 tornadoes in the month of May. 2019, I don't think anybody's ever going to forget that. 105 tornadoes in the month of May. We got underneath just a really active pattern during that month. We saw the record flooding, the record tornadoes. And then last year, we only saw 16 tornadoes across the whole state during the month of May. And what I'm projecting is about 21, which would take us back closer to 2018. So I think we'll see more tornadoes than we did in 2020. However, I don't think we're going to be seeing a lot of severe weather as we head into the month of May. Now, June could be quite active for the Central Plains and specifically the state of Oklahoma. You go back to 2018, we saw only one tornado. 2019, after a very active May, we saw 11 tornadoes. 2020, 0 tornadoes. So that trend with that La Nina pattern really kept things very calm last year for May and June. This year, I'm expecting around 9 tornadoes. So we're going to start to see a little more increase in activity for the month of June. What we're going to have to watch for, though, is the potential for very dry air to move in. If that's the case, it could really shut down the severe weather chances as we head into May and June. And we're already about an inch below normal on rainfall. And if that is the case, we would potentially have a very hot summer ahead because we would not get our rainfall. The air would be very dry and the ground would become very dry as well. And that's easier to heat. And that means we could see incredibly high temperatures this summer. So we'll be watching that very closely over the next couple of months. And of course, you can have that 2Works for You Storm Shield app to help keep you safe. Now, 2Works for You has the best tools to track and forecast weather year-round, but especially during severe weather season. Meteorologist Brandon Woolley has a look at our cutting-edge technology.
When we sit down daily to work on the forecast and track the weather minute by minute, we have every tool at our disposal. When it comes to radar technology, KJRH owns its own Doppler radar and has for years. This lets us have full control of the radar to get quick scans of showers and storms in your neighborhood. We upgraded our radar last year to the latest technology, and it's ready to go for this severe weather season. All of the hardware and software in the radar server room is completely brand new. When we're in studio, we can use the tools in the software combined with the live radar to give you a clear view of the storm, what threats are embedded in it, and where it's headed. When we're live on air analyzing the storms, we can use our hand like a virtual mouse to interact with the maps. We can move the map around, zoom in and out, among other options available. We also have a suite of computer models, or what you've seen as Future Track. The models can help us predict anything from when storms will arrive, where hail could be, and how much rain could fall. Our technology is ready for whatever this spring throws our way. Meteorologist Brandon Woolley, 2Works for You.
Thank you, Brandon. Still ahead, the science behind Sprites. What causes these beautiful beams of lightning, and why are they so difficult to capture on camera? An electrical phenomenon that has only been photographed over the past 30 years happens high above Oklahoma's storms. Meteorologist Brandon Woolley has a look at what is known as Sprites.
Sprites, or air spirits, named for their elusive nature, are a rare occurrence but have been observed high above Oklahoma. Sprites is also an acronym for stratospheric mesospheric perturbations resulting from intense thunderstorm electrification. They most often occur during the spring severe weather season and are tied to an increase in lightning. Scientists believe a positive bolt of lightning underneath a thunderstorm causes the sprites. In a balancing act of nature, you get an electrical discharge vertically above the storm, away from the lightning bolt, and that's what you see as the sprites.
The lightning strike, it changes the electric field in the upper atmosphere to this critical level where the air breaks down and you see it get excited, and you see this red color of nitrogen molecules being excited kind of instantaneously. And it only lasts like 40 milliseconds, like a fraction of a second.
To capture these, you need to take an extended exposure photo or record a video and slow it down later to spot them. Paul has mastered that. Sprites can extend upwards of 50 miles and can be 30 miles across. Meteorologist Brandon Woolley, 2 Works for You.
And we hope you'll check out our podcast Beyond the Forecast. We are always working for you with weather updates, lifestyle information, and stories from people in our community. You can listen on Stitcher, the Apple Podcast app, Google Play Store, and Amazon Alexa, to name a few. When it comes to keeping you safe this storm season, no one is better equipped than 2 Works for You.